I think I'm live. Hello, hello, Zen friends. Happy weekend to you. Hope you're having an amazing weekend. Here it is, Sunday morning. Can you believe it? My voice is really low this morning. Wonderful realization and awareness of sinuses. So enjoy the. What was his name? He was Barry White. Who was he? The singer? Oh, hey, baby, baby. Anyway, um, so I'm back for more readings from Spirit. I'm so happy to have you all here. I'm giddy. I almost did 13 hours of readings yesterday. So I am flying high in spirit anyway. So good to see you guys. And we'll see what messages Spirit has. But until then, let's share some of this amazing energy. I'm going to bring in the love energy through the singing bowl. We'll let it fill up our being and flow out to the world and to each other, to loved ones that need it right now too. And as we're doing this too, just if you want to think about one thing that you're grateful for in this moment and just thank the creator for it, it does help immediately start raising our love vibration. And I feel so giddy. I don't know. I think it's all your guys' energy. I suddenly got a big flood of giddiness. So I feel like all your guys' love energy just took me to a whole new level already. So I'm excited. But we can gratitude. Let's back to gratitude. I'm grateful for you guys. But when we have gratitude, it does put us in a higher vibration, allows us to receive messages from spirit, and whatever we're focusing on that we're grateful for makes it easy for it to come to us too. So let us do that. We'll start by trying to take a deep breath here, and then I'll hit it 3 times, and let's feel this love energy. All right. So big deep breath in. Here we go. Mm, beautiful, beautiful. Wow. Powerful energy today. I got goosebumps all over my body. So thank you guys. I can always tell when you guys join in with your love energy because it just takes things to a whole new level as well. So thank you guys so much, and happy to see you all. Um, Excited again, like I said, for what messages will come through from spirit. And if you're new to the channel or new to these readings, hello, hello. I'm bruddaZEN. We've got a great group of Zen friends, huge hearts, great senses of humor. We love to laugh. We love to bring joy to a higher level. Um, so welcome, and there's always room for more Zen friends. So you're definitely welcome here. Quickly, how the free readings work: we do go down in order, first come, first serve down the chat. There's no special list. We try to keep it simple. And the chat is it. You just put your question out there. If you don't want to put your business out there, you can just ask for a general reading. Or if you don't know what you want, like, I wanna hear from spirit, but I don't know what to ask, just what do they wanna tell me? You can do a general reading too. We'll pull 1, 2 cards for the free readings, and then if anyone makes a donation, I do honor that energy exchange. I do step out of the free readings, dive deeper too, for the donations. So if you wanna deeper dive, a donation of any kind will do that. I don't have any set dollar amounts, you know, of, you have to make a certain amount or whatever. Because I know everyone's, uh, finances vary, the cost of living varies across the world, the rate of exchange varies, so whatever you give from your heart, mwah, perfect amount. You can use the super chat at the bottom in the description. I feel so silly today. In the description box of the video, I have my Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and Square. You can check all that out. Um, I know Sundays I usually am more silly because I've been doing a few days of a lot of hours and hours and hours of readings and connecting with spirit and with all you guys' energy. So I usually feel giddy on Sundays anyway, but extra giddy today. uh, so what else? Oh, after I'm done, I do return back to the main chat after I'm done with the donations. My YouTube channel members do get a second priority. We do have some in here. You'll see their names in green with badges. So Ashish, hello. We got Moonlight 5. Hello, hello. Christina Lowe as well, and Happy Pill. So we have several in the house. So hello, everybody. Good to see everyone. Um, and if you're interested in becoming a YouTube channel member, I do have 2 levels: Zen Cricket, 2.99 a month; Praying Mantis, 7.99 a month. We also get together on Thursdays, both groups together. We have unlimited tarot readings, oracle readings, also past life readings. We talk astrology, Q&A, whatever we want. And then my Praying Mantis members, the higher level, we do get on a live stream on Friday and Saturday nights after my regular session and after this session too on Sundays. Sorry, I'm all teary from all this energy and my sinuses. But so if you're interested, you can check out down below. There is a link in the description box. Also, if you're interested in a personal reading, there's a link for that down below, and also my hedge of peace and love, which is a cool if you feel like you need a break in your life and you want all this shadow and everything in your life just to whew, silence and move away. You can check that out too. It's all in that link. Um, what else did I want to say? Oh, my Praying Mantis members do get advanced access to all the videos I put out. In addition to all these lives, I am a crazy video recorder. Especially this year, we've got so much astrology going on. So we've got new moon videos, full moon videos. We got when the sun changes signs. We've got the Zen portals, which are the gateways that happen every month. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. We got those every month. We've got a quest video, which is like a podcast where we talk about how to make the most of our mental energy, our emotional energy, our like manifestation, attraction, focal energy, our physical energy, our ethereal energy. And in the first 5 months, we talked about our elemental spirit guides. Yes, we all have them. I was surprised to find that out myself. Every human character, we are every lifetime. We have a uh, elemental spirit guide of earth that helps with our physical bodies and our physical world. We've got a fire element that helps us with our spiritual energy, our passions, our ignition of things. We've got, of course, a water element that helps us with our emotional journey, and then an air element that helps us with our head, our thinking. And then our ethereal guardian angel, our ethereal elemental spirit guide is actually our guardian angel. So, uh, I love all that. If you're interested, there's, that link down below for all the playlists, so be sure to check that out, and we got, like, quarterly solstice and equinox readings by element and, weekly Zen Bytes, a ton of stuff. So check those out, and then also, on Sundays, I put out a moon tide, riding the moon tides. It gives a little on my social media, Facebook, Instagram, and on the community tab. I think it's called community tab still on the YouTube channel. It lists all the moon changing signs and any significant planetary changes too. Like we had one last week, which I will talk about here in a moment because I know Moonlight. I had saw one of your questions about what did my energy change? Well, maybe I'll talk it right now so everyone can hear it before we start readings. Um, Mercury today went from Taurus, which is a very calm, it's our thinking energy, Mercury, our communication, went from very grounded Taurus and sensual, sense like Taurus. Today went into Gemini, and tomorrow we have a new moon in Gemini, which that can kind of challenge some of our thinking. And yesterday, uh, Saturn, which isn't a sign for 2.5 years, went from Pisces into Aries. Saturn, our thinker, our challenger, went from very deep inward to spicy Aries energy. So if you check out those social media postings that I put out, Sundays I put out just like, here's what happened during the week. And then through the week, I also put out uh, individual social media posts, because if you're like me, I see it on Sunday, go, "Oh, okay, I'm aware of it," and then tomorrow I forget already. So it's good for me that I post them every day, because then I'm like, "Oh, that's right. Today this is changing. Let me be aware of that energy." So we can ride the tides instead of have them smack us around. So we have all that. So all that stuff is free. Um, we try to put out a lot of stuff to help us through this humanity, especially this year and next year. We've got huge changes astrologically and in the human collective. So take advantage of all this stuff to help it be a smoother, easier path than a bumpy being thrown all around and smacked around. But whatever turns you on, if you enjoy the pain, don't let me stop you. I know. I learned the hard way a lot in my life. I'm almost, I can't say that. I'm 58 years old. I almost said I'm almost 60. That kind of, my brother is 3 years older. So I know he just turned, uh, yeah, he just this month turned 61. So I'm like, "Whoa." I'm glad he gets to hit all the big numbers first. Helps me get used to the hearing that. All right, I think that's a lot of stuff. Um, so just so you guys know, so we have the Gemini new moon tomorrow. Here's the video that came out yesterday. We do talk about making the most of the new moon wishes, so be sure to check that out if you wanna use this energy to really bring and draw things in. We talk about how to make the most of the energy and new moon wishes. Get 10 every new moon. Don't waste them. And then also, of course, we went into Gemini season. So happy birthday, all you Gemini sun babies. And here is the video for that. If you haven't checked it out, we do have a bonus card for each individual zodiac sign too. We do a collective reading. We talk about Gemini energy, and then we do a separate one card, at least one card each for each sign, to give you an idea over these next 30-ish days what's going to be coming in, right? A heads up on where this stuff hits us. Also, I know there's a lot, but I want to make sure you guys know everything, especially this one. Uh, we're having a giveaway celebration this next Friday. I'm going to be drawing winners for a free personal recorded reading. I know, I'm so excited. Um, so for reaching 2,400 subscribers, I want to give back. Every time I kind of hit another 100, I like to celebrate. And we're already almost at halfway again. So grateful. And I want to give back. So if you check out that video, it talks about how you can get into the drawing. And I will pull winners on Friday and put out a special video announcing the winners, and then social postings too. So you guys will see all that if you follow all of that. So good luck. And I'm so grateful for everyone, um, because I know it seems like oh, well, I'm not a monthly YouTube channel member, or I don't make donations, or I don't, purchase personal readings or anything. And I'm so grateful for people that do, but I get it. We all can't do that. So when you give the video a thumbs up, and all of you that comment and all that, you guys attend and support and watch my other videos, all of that stuff helps spread the Zen love. And you're part of the love tsunami. And I'm so grateful for all of you. I've been doing this almost, but since 2021. Yeah, I think it's 2021 is when I started going live for these live streams. So it's almost been 3 years. Wait, no, I can't even add 4 years. It'll be 4 years in, like, November, I think is when I started, so 3.5 years of doing this, and some of you have been there from the beginning, and you've, all have been here, so I'm so grateful. Anyway, all that to say, thank you, and be sure to check that out if you're interested in that. Um, you'll have a choice, of, um, I'm gonna say at least a 30-minute, personal recorded reading, and you can also choose. I've got past life readings, relationship readings, uh, life purpose readings, and birthday readings. So the winner will be able to choose whatever they want from those, or you can just say, "Yeah, those are alright." I like to have packages where you can go, "Yeah, this is the one I want. It provides all this stuff." And then if you're like, no, I just want to ask my questions, you have that option too. There's a link down in the description box to my site that talks about all the readings I offer, so you can kind of peruse and go, if I win, which one would I want, right? All right. I think that's most of the blah blah blah. I did want to let everyone know. So I grabbed all the streams that I did yesterday. Yep, here they are. Boom. So, Saturday morning stream, that was like 6 hours, there's a link for that. I only got to donations in that morning stream, and then the Saturday evening stream, that's the link for that, and I only got to donations for that too. I know. I'm so grateful, because that's how I eat, and so I'm so grateful for all the donations. And then I went on late night Saturday night for a makeup stream, and I did complete all free readings in addition to donations I hadn't got to. And so if you put a question in a stream yesterday, check out that last video. I do put a pinned comment after each stream listing everyone I read and a timestamp. And for that evening one, like if you had a donation and then you had a free reading in the morning, a free reading in the evening, you might have 3 timestamps. So be sure to look down the entire list. I did split them out by donations, my YouTube channel members, morning and evening session, free readings, morning and evening session, so you can see those. So, all right, I think that's enough blah blah blah. But I like to make sure you guys know everything. Now you're know-it-alls. All right. So let's get started. I love you guys, and I thank you for being patient with me. So we have the Wandering Star tarot. I'm going to start off using these by Kat Pierce. Someone mentioned yesterday. Um, I knew she was a musical artist, but I didn't know that her sister is an actress as well. So if you want to check her out, I love this deck. So let's get it shuffling. We do have some donations, so we will start there. And so where we're at so far, oops, let me just make sure here. Okay. All right. Hey, happy pill. All right, so we'll start off with Christina Lowe. Hey, Christina. And then we'll go to June 333, and then happy pill times 2. And then we'll bounce back to Christina Lowe, and then back to to Moonlight, I think. So make sure I wasn't out of order. And then Moonlight times 2 is where we'll be. So let us dive in. So Christina, thanks for being a member for 9 months. I love that you guys are able to do those and post those. And happy there's that 2 member for 8 months. Thank you guys so much. So Christina, thank you for your donation and the hot dog. This is hilarious. You are just too much. So good morning. Love you. Love ya. I love you too. It does feel like a mighty good day. And I've been really good. Um, you love the energy being in Southern California, which is something I never thought you would say. It's probably all your grandkids around there. Although Southern California, like San Diego in that area, does have a really gentle kind of energy. I've been there a few times myself. But yeah, kids and grandkids, especially knowing that they're doing good and smiling, makes you feel, ah, so I love that. All right, so let's dive in here. You want to know any love interest or grown up time in your future? All right, let's take a look here. Thanks for keeping it PG. For YouTube standards, we don't want to get banned. All right, let's take a look here. See what they have to tell you here. So you got the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles on the bottom is it's a very stable card. It's very earthy, kind of home energy because it's, the four walls of the pentacle. Now you're stuck at home. But there's a solid foundation coming in here. We'll see what this has to do more so. But it's like, oh, yeah, it's like you're really getting into this working out, having stabilizing your life. Why do you want to add another wrench into the whole thing? That's funny. That's more of a joke from your spirit guides. All right, let's see what you have here. Um, you have the Death card and the Eight of Cups, and both of this combination coming in, you could have some adult time, some grown-up time, a love interest, but the Eight of Cups is about, uh and with the Death card too, it's all about doing an emotional inventory of where you're investing your energy, so emotional energy. So it's like evaluating what friendships, other people, um, in your life do you feel like these relationships where you're giving 70, 80, 90% all the time, and they're only giving consistently 10, 20, 30%. You're the life support system of some relationships. And that's one part of it is to look at and evaluate, am I overgiving and is there any that I can back off and go, I'm going to allow them to give too. I'm going to give 50%. And if they give that, then it stays. If they don't, then it may drift away. And then you get all of it back. And you might have some are like, no, I know who they are. Gone. So it's about evaluating where your emotional relationships are and letting that go. The second part of the Eight of Cups with the Death card is about when we're 7 years old and younger, we as children express ourselves three ways, right? Laughing and smiling, and everyone loves a happy smiling baby, so that's encouraged. Or we cry, or we throw a tantrum, right? Sadness and anger, and those are generally not, especially as we get into our terrible twos, you know, 2 to 7. It's more like, "You better stop your crying, I'm gonna give you something to cry about," or, "I'm gonna take you out to the car and give you a whooping if you don't stop that tantrum." So we're taught suppress, anger, and suppress sadness, but laugh, laugh, laugh. Well, when we push all those below the surface, that takes energy to keep those charged emotions down that we weren't allowed to express. And they're still down there charged in all this energy all along. It takes time. If we look at some of those and we transform them, then we get that energy back too. So, all of this to say, when we have our emotional bank is low, our heart won't allow love interest or things to come in where emotional energy needs to be invested because it's like our heart has an emotional accountant in there going, no, we can't afford that. That's not in the budget. So as we bring in more abundance of emotional energy, and then that allows and it gets approved to have those things come toward us. So that's step one. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, oh my gosh. These cards you're getting, death card and the Eight of Cups, the Tower card and the Knight of Cups. There is still some release and this is Tower card with this movement of emotion. Still there is some like leftover beliefs that were created and some emotions that can be released from past relationships, past romantic movements. That is, again, kind of subconscious, not so much maybe in your face, but there's this field of energy that's going, I don't want to open up because of these jerks that did these things before. And the ghostings, the sudden departure out of your life, the fear of someone, of getting close to someone and then they just leave, or they do things that make you want to make them leave. There's this energy, and this is the combo between these two. It's really important to do those to prepare so that you can have a nice, solid relationship and some really meaningful grown-up time. All right, let's continue here. You got the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, a little bit of time. Things will slow down, but it is giving you time. Whenever we get a Knight of Pentacles or Seven of Pentacles or the Hangman, there's some of these cards that are like about slow in our roll. The Temperance card stands out too, where it's like slowing down, but it slows down on purpose to give us time to work on these lower vibrational energies because otherwise they're just going to draw in low vibrational experiences and people and events. And we're like, ugh. And so when things slow down, it's giving us time to work on those, release those so that we can move to a higher level, draw in something that matches that instead of doing what we've done and getting that, right? So I like that. Let's see what else we have here. Yep, Four of Swords, Four of Pentacles. So it's all about resting right now. Yeah, and the Strength card, communicating with your higher self here. The lion is your human, the maiden is your higher self. So this time kind of, and I guess they really meant it with the Four Pentacles, is now it's time to be at home with yourself. And then once you do some of this stuff, then it will naturally happen. But they just, it's for your best experience. Otherwise, we're just going to do what we've always done. And man, sometimes we're like, I don't care. I don't want a relationship. I just need to release some pent up anger and energy and smack someone, on the bohiney and release some energy. But let's see what your fortune cookie says here. Then we'll circle back around to your other question here in a moment. Gotta be careful. I don't want to get reported. Okay, here we go. So, and these are the health and the law of attraction from the Hickses, the ones that channel Abraham. My experience is a clear indication of the thoughts I think. Yeah, so it's about changing some mindsets. Card number 23. And it says, if you say to yourself, I am the master and the creator of my experience, and I choose recovery at this time, you can recover. This is about health, but this can be emotional or whatever we apply it to, right? These words are easily said by us and not so easily heard by those who do not believe in their power to create, but your experience always reflects the balance of your thoughts. Your experience is a clear indication of the thoughts that you think. And when you change the thoughts you're thinking, your experience or indicator must change also. It is law. It's the law of attraction. All right. So I like that one for you there, Christina. So many blessings to you. All right. Shout out to their YouTube channel member. Hey, Olivier. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Try. Oh, and I didn't put your timestamp out there, Christina, but I'll just put up first here for that one. And then I will remember to put your other one. Oh, my goodness. I'm already just jumping in and not obeying my rules. I'm breaking the rules already. It's my rebel Aquarius sun energy. All right. So now let's do this right. So June, you are up. Let's put your timestamp here. And let's actually put it in the chat. Let's get into the swing of things. All right. There we go. All right, there we go. All right. So June, thank you so much for your donation. Let's give that a love and a like. Good afternoon. So your question is below. What the heck has been going on between S and K this weekend? Uh-oh. Do you see like a nuclear smoke cloud over by the area where they're at? Let's see here. What do we have going on here? Yeah, with Saturn going into Aries and Mercury going into Gemini, there's a lot of challenging energy. It can be, if we don't know about it and are aware of it, we can take us off guard. Let's take a look here. What's going on between S and K? What would you like us to know? What can we know? Okay. Okay, these are underneath. Come on. Not that one. Do one to these two. That one and that one. All right. Let's see what we have. Oh, okay. We got the Knight of Wands going on here. A lot of movement of fire. It's the horse on fire, right? Sparks are flying. So, yeah, there might be uh, a smoke cloud over yonder. Tempers are short. Things are flying. Let's see what we want, what we can know here. And the Knight of Swords. Yep. Words are being said here with this Knight of Wands and Knight of Swords. Things are being said that they will regret. Will they regret it later? I don't know. But things are being said. There's a lot of stuff that's been pent up. And they vent a lot. And I mean, fighting is a kind of a norm, right? With them here. Hey, June. um, but nuclear is a good way to describe it. Yeah. You know, so they normally, but I feel like something activated, and it could be this astrological energy because Gemini is a big communicator. And with Mercury that rolls over Gemini going into that, very much so. And we're in Gemini season and also Saturn going into Aries, fiery energy of really facing our stuff. It's like, here's the fire. So I can imagine it's like stuff that we went to from depth con 5 to depth con 4. We went to a new level here this weekend. So some things that no, I'm not going to say that is like, what have I got to lose? Brah, well, okay, let's see what else we have here. Oh, yep. New moon in Gemini energy. We got the moon energy. So a lot of hidden things, and that makes sense. All this emotion that's been below the surface just came flying out of their mouths at each other and saying all sorts of stuff that they've been afraid to say, because they knew that, "Oh, they're gonna bring up stuff about me if I say this," but they, like, went to the mat, as they say. Not physical fighting, but wow, ninja sword fighting with the mouth. Yeah. Well, we'll see if we'll find out here. Got the King of Wands. Yep. So here is this energy of wanting to decide, wanting to, um, decision making. It really has brought them both to this point of okay, what do I want? Each of them independently. Well, what do I want? Do I want to continue this? Or what do I want? Because I feel like this stuff is really just, brought up things to this. I want to say a decision point, but not like an external decision point, an internal decision point. We thought, well, surely they've got to it by now. You know, when you're a habitual fighter and you've known it all your life, fighting in relationships is a norm. But when you go, like, to the extent that I feel like they've gone this weekend, that is like, "Ooh, we took it to a whole new level," and now I feel like there's this decision point on the inside. So we'll definitely find out. Yep, got the creator, the power of no energy. What do I want and what don't I want? And it's like there's this new fire within each of them about, I don't have to do or be anything I don't wanna be. And I feel like whatever codependent chains were keeping things in place, the fire got so much the chains melted. Whoa. So let's find out what's below the surface here. So we've got the Six of Swords. Yeah. So there is letting go of some old ways of thinking, some small t truths rooted in fear, and looking at things from a different perspective. And it's like a wake-up call. It's like slap, slap, and not that they slapped each other, but it's a energetic slap where you're just like, "Whoa, I was so caught up into the cycles of things that this really just the train derailed. The box cars are everywhere, and they're realizing, 'Whoa, what's been going on?'" It's like this big a new way of looking at things. Interesting. Yeah, the 5 of swords. Okay, so there's the battle between the head and the heart made its way out in big ways. So that is confirming the verbal fighting going on here. And all those are below the Knight of Swords, which makes sense. Here's all that communication, communication, communication that we'll see if we can find out what all that was about. And then below the Moon card, we have the 7 of Cups, all these emotions activated. I feel like normally there are, let's say there's usually 4 emotions that are activated and they're fighting. They went full 7 cups. It's like, whoa, these are some new things that I'm feeling, new fears, new expressions of fears. And um, and I feel like there was throwing of things, not at each other, but throwing and breaking of things. Because they just reminded me, my mom in her second marriage, he was a little abusive, um, till I threatened his life, but they ended up divorcing anyway. But my mom told me she got so mad at him that she, um, karate kicked which if you knew my mom, it was a surprise. "Oh, you did what?" She karate kicked he was holding the alarm clock, changing the alarm, she kicked it out of his hand, and went flying and broke against the wall. That's what they showed me in my head. I'm like, "Whoa." Yeah. Yeah, kicked up a notch for sure. So that's interesting. Let's see what else is here. 10 of swords. Yeah, I'm tired of all the expectations. 10 of swords is this it says closure, final endings. It is like realizing I'm just tired of this. I don't want to do this anymore. And that's that whole thing here. Oh, that's right below the King of Wands too, what we were talking about, which they reached that point of, this is enough. This is enough. I can't do this. And the Knight of Pentacles. Yep, it's taken a while here, but this, the Knight of Pentacles is, it takes time for things to get to the outside world. So they've been, again, doing a lot on the inside, but the Knight of Pentacles, it's the slowest moving knight because it's the external world that has seasons and it takes things longer to happen in the outside world. And even though things are happening in our mind and our heart and our energy, the physical world is the last place that you know, the fruit is seen and it comes in here, right? So I do see that here, things are coming to an end. Yeah, even under the Knight of Wands, we have the drama card, the 5 of Wands, and underneath that, the 5 of Pentacles, which is all about those feelings of fear of abandonment, being left out in the cold behind, not feeling like I'm worth something, not having enough. So all that conflict came pouring out. We'll do a clarifier here for you, like what kind of words um, were they saying to one another here? Do I wanna go there? Let me take a sip of coffee first. I'm gonna need some espresso for this one. Yeah, not an ending this weekend, but I feel like the decisions are being made inside this power of no. It's gonna take a little bit of time to get to the outside, but I feel like afterwards, they've kind of gone like they're back to their corners, ding ding. Okay, the bell rang, they went back to their corners, and now I just feel like they're like, what just happened? And wow, like they're letting it sink in and process. Like someone went for a run or a drive, and the other person's out working in the garden. The things that they do, like one went to work out and the other one went out to work in the garden. The things they do when how they go and think when they need alone time, they're doing that thing today. And they're just really like, but I feel like the decisions will be made over the next week or so. Because June, hey June, isn't June when they're making decisions to separate? Was that what, we had before? I feel like that's sticking out in my head. Or maybe it's just your name. But let's see here. Let's see here if I can, I'm just gonna sit in the energy of the argument. I'm gonna become a Howard Cosell, do a play-by-play. No, we're not gonna get that detailed, but, into the fight itself. "Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, ding ding." So it started off as regular, bantering and, "You didn't do this, and you're an idiot, and you don't know what you're doing, and why don't you love me?" All the manipulation things they do back and forth with each other, and they know the buttons to push. Um, but normally they don't push all the buttons at the same time, which is the secret code to launch the nuclear weapon. And so I feel like it's accusations and "You never loved me," and, "Well, how can I love you when you don't even love yourself?" And I'm like, "Whoa, you hit below the belt." "Your mother never loved you, that's why she left you." I mean, big things. I'm getting, like, goosebumps because it was like I feel like, whoa, it's like the monsters came out inside of them and they couldn't stop. Once the monsters were out of the cage, they just because they went once they went below that regular little, "No, no, that's gonna open up a whole new cage. Whoop, the cage is open. Here it is." Um, Anything else here? Um, you don't know how to take care of someone, I feel is coming through. Oh, now I feel like crying. Uh-oh. So someone started crying, and that's not a good sign because it's, uh it's a sad cry that turns into an anger cry, and for this person, that means, "Oh, shit." So that's when they were like, they said something that just and the face changes into like, "Uh-oh, here it comes." And, they're showing me the Hulk, right? "Don't make me angry, you won't like me when I'm angry." And they're like, "Don't step over this line. What are you gonna do?" And they did. They went way over the lines. And I feel like, it's like, I wanna throw this at you, but instead I throw it at the wall or I throw at something and it's, tearing things that are important to the person that the other person knows, they're like, or throwing it, and you're just like, "Whoa," it's like War of the Roses. I haven't It's a old movie, but it's War of the Roses where they go at it almost. I don't feel like it got physical, like when hurting each other. I feel like someone grabbed someone and, to make them stop heading towards something to like, "Oh, yeah, you destroyed that? Well, I know I'm gonna go destroy this of yours," and they, stopped them, but no, psh, psh, or psh, 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 just, like, held them, like, to the point where they might even have some bruises on their arms. Yeah, yeah, they actually did break stuff, like, sculpture. I don't know if sculpture, but it feels like something that's, like, not stone, but not completely stone, but it's made out of ceramic that broke, and, it's stuff that, wasn't expensive because 'cause they're, like they still, in their heart, like their stuff. But they're like, "Okay, this" they're like, "Oh, no, not gonna break that. I'm gonna break this instead," you know? Oh, what a hoot. What a hootenanny. But, so it's that kind of stuff that was said, and again, a lot of energy. They just opened the doors and boom shakalaka came flying out. So, but I do feel like they shocked each other on how much how far they went, and they're like, "Oh, wow, can't believe I said that." After they've calmed down, right? When the little child self feels safe when they went to their corners and they feel that's when the adult returns and going, it's almost like you blacked out. They didn't black out, but it's almost like you do, because 'cause you're like, "I lost my mind." They both lost their minds, and because they're, compassionate, loving, adult mind, and yeah, they're realizing now, "I really shouldn't have said that." They both did. They both did. Because it was like a tit for tat. They're like they grabbed something and they just, "Whoa," they wanted to throw it at him, but it happened to be something of theirs, and they threw it against the wall and it shattered, and they were like, "Oh," and they look and they saw something of theirs, and they're like, "Really? What are you gonna do about that?" And they're like, but I don't feel like it went, like, ballistic, where it's like their entire house is destroyed. I feel like, um, maybe 2 and 2, and they were headed on their way for a 3rd, and that's when they stopped and said, "Stop this." And I feel like that was kind of the end of the conversation when they realized, "Oh god," you know, and that's what, like, there's the shocking period. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, they're both like, "Why not? You can do it. I can do it too." Bam. Alright, let's see what your fortune cookie is for this one here. My happiness is a direct reflection of how quickly I can shift my perceptions from fear to love. Wow. 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 Right? I feel like this is for both of them that they realize we're unhappy and we're in fear, and how quickly their perceptions change suddenly. And I feel like this is what shocked them both, is how far it went. And they're just like, this isn't good. And I feel like they're both kind of in that shock of how bad it got. Because like I said, they growing up, I feel like they both came kind of from really not volatile, but very argumentative households where this is normal. What are you guys freaking out about? But when they took it as far as they did this weekend, they're like, we have a problem. You're like, you guys are just realizing that now? All right. So that's what they have for this much. That's what we can know for this moment. Lordy, lordy, oh my goodness. All right. Woo. I'm gonna need another sip here. Let's release that energy from us. Let's hear. Yeah, ding. The battle is over. All right. Okay. So let us switch gears here. Thank you again for your donation, June. Appreciate that. All right. All right. So we are to Happy Pill. Let's grab your timestamp here. We got times two. So we'll have both of yours together here. Let's put that down in the chat. But oops, that didn't grab everything I wanted to. How rude. Right here. How about that? There we go. All right. So Happy Pill, thank you for your dual donations. Let's jump into number one. We'll give that a love and a like here. And thank you for your posting there too. I love that my YouTube channel members, I think it's after the first 30 days that you guys are able to put the little green little um, I don't forget what they call it, but it's like a billboard, and I like that. So thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Let me just clear away some of this fight energy. We don't talk about Fight Club. Okay. So Happy Pill. Some details on your personal life in the future. All right. Let's take a look here and see what we have here. So what about your let me just move these over here. There we go. Okay, what this one? Something moving to something here, which brings this, but this is underneath. And then I like this one here. Kind of going this way. Uh, see, I do want this one, and I do want this one too. Those are kind of together. All right, let's see what we got here, Happy Pill. So the bottom of the deck, you do have the Eight of Cups coming in here. And the Eight of Cups is an energy of like purging and letting go of old emotions and relationships that don't serve you anymore. But this one, like I had one earlier, it talked about, managing your emotional bank and it's not that energy I'm feeling from this. This is like a acknowledgement and a celebration. Maybe not a celebration might be an extreme thing, but an acknowledgement and a fist bump and a high five. And maybe it is celebration from your spiritual posse about what the actions that you've taken and letting emotions go that don't serve you and some significant relationships that you were holding on, like you had been letting other things go and going, these are not, but there were some that you were like, but these I really want to try. And then you're just like, they're not trying and it's exhausting me. And I feel like you've let go of some significant relationships in the last few months. And this is that them saying, I know it was tough, so, we're proud of you that you faced that and you've done this. We'll see what else they want you to know around this here too. Yep, the Justice card, the balance. This is help balancing your energy in your life. You're seeing things differently with that Ace of Swords, the Justice card carries, and then those little scales is the balancing. You've really, again, it's this acknowledgement that you've really been seeing things from a different perspective and cutting away some old ways of thinking. And so this eight of balanced energy of the Eight of Cups, because there's four cups on one side and four cups on another. There's this like emotional feeling of balance and this mental feeling of balance coming in where I feel like you're like feeling this, okay, this feels different. It almost might feel a little dull, right? That's what happens in our spirituality when we start having, less and less drama in our life, and we're like, "Why does my life feel like maybe too calm?" In comparison to what when we have so much drama going on, when we remove drama out of our life, we're like, "It's really quiet. Is there normally this quiet? Are you guys used to this quietness?" So let's see where this is leading. Yeah, the Lovers. I love this. So, this has all been that preparation. We probably have talked about in the past about look at your emotional, releasing thoughts that don't serve you anymore, emotions that don't serve you anymore. Well, you've been doing it. And here comes this is leading you to an important relationship coming into your life. Let's see what's underneath here. And the Eight of Pentacles. Yep. Here is that balance, the blood, the sweat, the tears, and the fruit from that is coming. So here it is. You've been making the space available for it, and it's drawing it faster to you. We'll find out more here. But this is about, like, we talk about the Eight of Pentacles about a caterpillar moving to a butterfly, and that the caterpillars can't go where the butterfly is going. Well, here comes a butterfly because you're evolving and coming out of your cocoon, and you're like, while your wings are drying, you're like, all right, yep. So those are the caterpillars down there. They can't go where I'm going, but I wonder what butterflies. And there's like, you see this butterfly garden, and there's all these butterflies flying around in this, beautiful flowers. And you're like, all right, well, I'm gonna go. I'm hungry for some nectar anyway, because this is my first time out of the cocoon, and I'm ready for higher, sustenance instead of eating leaves like a caterpillar. You're ready for higher sustenance, the nectar of the gods. So here you go. Excited for you, Happy Pill. Let's take a look here. So you have the Six of Swords. Yep. Moving from choppy waters to calmer waters. So so there is this letting old ways of you already knew that with the Justice card, leaving old ways of thinking behind, new ways of thinking. But now the mind here, with the changes here, it's making its way out into the outside world. And so I like this energy of uh, you know, um, changes making its way where you're taking action and there is actual movement out here. So I like that. Underneath here, what's coming in here? Yeah, the Fool card, a brand new adventure free of all of those supposed to be's and should be's and need to be's. It's a world of possibilities. Again, it's like that, you know, the butterfly looking and going, look at there's I see in the distance the butterfly garden, which a butterfly garden, for those that don't know, is like there's certain plants and things that butterflies just love. And when you plant all these plants that butterflies love, it just attracts them, and you have all these butterflies flying around because the specific flowers are just like crack for the butterfly. But this is what you're seeing. This is that new adventure. Look at all the possibilities, and I see it over there, and I'm going to head in that direction. That's this transition is you're heading in a new direction, going to places you wouldn't go before, leaving old places behind too. So if you're thinking of moving to a different even city or different part of the city or something, or changing jobs, all of this movement is part of what's going on inside of you, and now it's making its way to the outside world, which brings you to the Knight of Wands. Yep, action, action, movement. And I feel like things are going to go from like you know, 0 miles an hour to 60. You're going to be like, hold on, because you're about to take off. So I feel like things are just really going to go boom, 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 and things are going to be moving here, um, regarding that. So um, I feel like it's sudden, and it's like, wow. And that makes sense too if you think about it. Caterpillars go like this, like they take forever, but a butterfly is flutter, flutter, flutter. They go like very much faster than a caterpillar. And so the speed at which you flow, you're going to be like, whoa, things are different. Things move more quickly. Things come to me more quickly, and the manifestation of things happen, even lower vibration too. And you're realizing, okay, wow, it does happen as you raise your vibration. Things come in faster. Higher vibration things come in faster, but so do lower vibration things, which is good because it's a good reminder for us when I focus on something lower vibration. Is I'm like, oh, that's right. I don't want that. I'm going to focus here, and then that drifts away as fast as it came in, or it kind of not as fast, but it drifts away because you're focusing not on this anymore. On this, these things do drop away. So I like that. Yeah, and here we go. You do have this family energy headed your way. You got the 10 of Cups, which is relationship, uh, overflowing love, and the 7 of Wands. It happens by you being true to your authentic self. It's you being the butterfly and flying and going doing butterfly things. And this is about you living your passion. You're not trying to find a mate. You're not trying to find someone, because when you do, you end up with, people who lied on their resume trying to fill a position in your life. This is you living your passion, going out and living life and going, what do butterflies do? I'm going to go do this. I'm going to do this. And then you bump into other butterflies because you're doing butterfly things. And then that's where the spark happens. That's where this 10 of Cups happens. So I love this for you, Happy Pill. So that's for that one. We'll grab you a fortune cookie here. And I, this is so great because you're Happy Pill. I actually have these, and I forgot that I put them here. Let me put them out here so I remember they're here. But they're called Happiness, Words of Inner Joy. So your fortune cookie is going to come from here. Let's see. Shall we attempt to shuffle these tiny, tiny cards? No, it's not going to work. They're not even large enough to bend. So let's see here. What is your fortune cookie here? What else for Happy Pill? All right. I feel like it's this one here. Switch it up. A change of pace breaks up the rat race. Wow, how perfect is that? You're switching it up. A change of pace breaks up the rat race. So perfect. All right, so that's for your first one. And let's see here. So thank you for your second donation. Let's give that a love and a like here. All right. So details on your professional life in the future. All right. Yeah, we totally went personal life, right? Literally very personal. Whoa. All right, so let's take a look here at your professional life. Let's take a look here. All right. Profession. All right. Whoa, okay. And then I do want these two. Any of these? Yeah, let's do these for underneath, I feel. And that's the bottom of the deck anyway, so we will look at that. All right, okay. I feel like we want to do it like this. Like this. I feel like these three are this. Okay, and these three are this. All right. And even with the way the cards just organized themselves is a message in itself. It feels like your professional life was kind of scattered, kind of like this, and what is this? But I feel like things are falling into place with this. You have the Ten of Wands on the bottom of the deck, which is a change of burden changing to abundance energy. And there it is an ending and beginning energy that's coming in here. So I feel like things are about to change. There's about to be endings and beginnings. We'll see if it is by your actions or if it is happening for you. You know what I mean? Because sometimes we won't make a change and changes are made for us. Well, we'll find out here. Let's start with the underlying energy of this one. You do have the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, so this is about community, being true to your authentic self, and its creativity and expression coming in here. I'm getting a feeling here that this is your dream, which you're kind of it's a way of expressing yourself creatively. Like this is a hobby, dream that you would love to do and get paid for someday. It's almost like it's a side hustle. I hate using that word because it sounds like you're, you know, selling crack on the streets or something. Don't do that. We like having you here. I don't think they give you internet in prison, so don't do it. But this is about you expressing yourself creatively and like the dream, what your heart wants to do. And I feel like this is that side. And I feel like you might be able to juggle two things in your professional life until you're able just to live your dream kind of energy. Let's see is underneath here. Yeah, the Two of Swords. I love it. When I get the Two of Swords, this is the heart battling with the mind. The mind wants to go one way, the heart wants to go another way. You can't make this stuff up. I love spirit. So that's what I kind of feel like. Here is your mind. That's gonna sound bad. I'm not gonna say it. Your mind uh career or employment. And then this is your heart direction here. Let's talk about the mind right now, and then we'll get into the fun stuff here. Yeah, so it feels like you're even with your mind, what your mind wants to do to bring in money. The Ace of Pentacles. So I do feel like there is abundance happening in the job that we're doing. You know, the one that feels like work. Um, so I do feel like there's some prosperity coming in for the professional life here. Yeah, and the Five of Pentacles, though, it doesn't feel fulfilling. It doesn't feel enough with the Five of Pentacles because that's a feeling of lack. And that's what happens when we're the mind makes us feel like we're existing. The heart, when we follow the heart and do with the heart, we feel like we're living, right? And so here's that existing feeling of like, yeah, well, that's great, you know. And that's what happened like toward the end when I went before I left corporate life. I'd get bonuses, I'd get raises, they wanted to promote me, and I'm like, "No, it's okay." "What? You're so weird." And I'm like, because 'cause I'd been up in upper management before and I'd left, I came back, and they always were trying to get me to go back up to supervise and all that, and I was like, because I did it before I left once. I was there for over 20 years. I left once and went on a little sabbatical for 7 months and came back, promised myself I wasn't gonna get back into management and ended up back in management, um, stressed out, doing all that up again, and then I left and, for a while and then ended up coming back again, Oh no, the first one is I moved out of state and came back, and the second one is I went in my sabbatical and came back. And but that time I promised no, 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 and they keep wanting to do it, but it's like it never felt it doesn't fulfill me. I don't want to invest that much energy into something that doesn't fulfill me, and I feel like that's kind of where you're getting within this, what the mind has been wanting you to do. Um, yeah, and the 8 of Cups, like you are, you're ready to leave behind things and relationships with jobs that no longer serve you with this 8 of Cups. So that's part of that, um, in your first reading, you had the 8 of Cups. This is part of your journey that you've been doing releasing stuff because now you're feeling like, yeah, you get the reward and you're like, "Phew, I thought this was gonna feel different," right? So let's go jump over here to the heart, this creative expression that your heart is wanting to take you on here. Yeah. The 9 of Swords, letting go of all of our supposed tos and shoulds and need tos and have tos and musts. And that is something that we face, and just to continue the story of mine is at some point, this ugly feeling of not living your dream, in the beginning, that ugly feeling of not living your dream is outweighed by your fears of not having enough and not being enough. What will people think? This is crazy. What? Selling your condo, like me, selling my condo, selling my vehicle, simplifying my life. They're like, "You're supposed to be going the other direction. Why are you going?" Everyone's walking this way towards more. I'm walking this way towards less. And they're going, I think you're going the wrong direction. And I'm like, I'm not. Trust me, you'll know when you get there. And that's what I feel happens here is at one point, that ugly feeling of not living your dream outweighs your fears. And that's when you take action, big action, where you leave this to go to that. But this is in the stage of you're exploring this. You can start doing this while you're doing this full time, because this brings you joy. This brings you more energy but time and there's only so much energy. Because I know when I was trying to do full time and do what I do now, hardly a little bit of what I was able to do, but because of everyone now, all the support and love, I'm able to do this full time, right? And that's where you can get to here, but it's these once your fears are outweighed by that ugly feeling. Yeah, the King of Cups, the perfect fit for you, the balance between your head and your heart. But this is that perfect fit energy, something that just fits you like a glove. It's how you want to express yourself to the world in your own special, unique way, not trying to live up to like, well, spiritual people are supposed to do this. And I'm like, "Pfft, I don't want to do that. I want to do it my way." And this is what this is you doing it your way. And then, yeah, the Ace of Swords, clarity. And you're in the process of gaining a lot of clarity around this part of your life. So your heart will get louder and louder and louder. And as you discover and try different ways of expressing this unconditional love energy in your heart in your own special ways, you're going to find one that really brings you joy. Like I love bringing messages from spirit. It always blows my mind. And I think I'm addicted to the energy, especially like yesterday. I almost was on 13 hours doing readings and I was wired after I was done. I wasn't like I was like, I gotta rest. I gotta like come off this high. And this is what you do when you live your dream, right? So I like that for you. I feel like that's what they have here for you, Happy Pill. Hopefully that gives you the guidance that you were looking for today. And then we'll pull you a fortune cookie. We'll do the happiness again. I like those little cards. All right. So let's see what else they have here. You are very welcome. Thank you for your donations. I really appreciate that. Okay, what else? Okay, this one here. So you have reflect, name 3 positive things about today. Yeah, I like this. And I want to alter it. Well, Spirit wants to alter it a little bit. Name 3 positive things that make your heart sing, that make your heart full of joy. Because that's how we can kind of find out when was the last 3 times that my heart felt like singing, my heart felt like dancing. And what was I doing? And is that something that I can pursue and share with others too? So I like that. Tim. Hey, Tim, you're so funny. Spinny hugs for all, wobbles from dizziness. Email sent. Thank you. I will definitely check that out. Thank you, Tim. You're so funny. Thanks for sharing your joy, everybody. All right. So those are your two there. All right. And then we are back to Christina Lowe. So, Christina, let's put your timestamp here. I didn't put your first one, but you were up first originally, but I failed. I'm so sorry. But here is your second timestamp. And thank you for your additional donation with a little diamond emoji. And the second, more important question, well, what is your relationship to Lilith? Ooh, I love that. Let's take a look here. I have Black Moon Lilith cards, but I put them away. Here. Oh. No. I thought I put them right there, but they're not. So we'll tap in through tarot. I like those though. I love Lilith energy. Actually, did I channel? I think I channeled Lilith in one of my automatic writings, and it's amazing the energy of that. All right, let's see here. Don't want those, but I want these. Yeah, they don't want those. All right, let's see what we got here. So we've got those showed themselves, and then we've got these here. Well, the bottom of the deck, you do have the strength card here. And of course, I think you got this before, but this is your human self and your higher self. In this case, Lilith, um, it's like there's entities that are for all of us, and it's an expression of the creator, a part of the creator. Like we're all expressions of the creator. And we are in other dimensions, we are like Lilith to civilizations. Let that sit and blow your mind for a minute. We are several different expressions across several different dimensions and universes, and even we're creating solar systems ourselves in our universe. We're all over the place. That's our capacity and our power of who we are. This human is one little expression in the bucket of all the thousands, millions of expressions that we're being across many different places because we're explorers and we're capable of being in multiple places all at the same time. That's how powerful we are. It blows your mind if you sit and think about it. But so Lilith is an expression of creator, like you're an expression of creator. But if you could think of, like, let's say there's a solar system somewhere and that's who you're being a Lilith um, for this solar system with all the entities that are existing there, other expressions, physical expressions on the planet or whatever. And you're the compassionate, feminine creativity. You're this energy, this expression of that energy, forming this character for them. And that's your relationship to Lilith in this lifetime. Um, it's like, but we develop our own, like, like you can be friends to a lot of different people and have different relationships with everyone. That's how we can have relationships with different expressions of creator too. And so when you're asking, like, what is your relation to Lilith, um, it is friends. You have a friendship, a relationship with them. How deep it goes is up to you and where it goes. They're very flexible and very capable of being many things, and so you can explore where you want to take a relationship with any entity. Ganesh, Lord Ganesh, All of these entities that present themselves to humanity, and a lot of humanity knows it. They could be so many things to each individual that it's up to you. And I feel like, yeah, so this is the Two of Cups here for you, which is you can develop this personal relationship with them. You have the Three of Swords too, which they're saying they help you in your sorrow. So a big piece of what relationship you have developed with them is they are your comforter. Um, they also help you move from old ways of thinking to new ways of thinking. So I feel like Lilith takes on you know, a well, I mean, it's a unique relationship with all of us, but I feel like have taken on some roles they don't characteristically people choose for them to take on the role, and they're more than happy because they love being as many things for us as we allow them to be. But I feel like she's taken on, different characters, kind of like Kali can take on be the destroyer and the birther. They are also that kind of energy. The Ace of Wands, she's your also gives you energy and fire, the spark of your Sagittariusness. They like help activate it and help you um, pinpoint it because the Ace of Wands is about learning to point your magic. So she helps you with that. So, um, I feel like here, especially this is with fire and with mind. We'll see what else we have here. Three of Swords feels like they help you emotionally too, um, but more so when understanding your emotion, not controlling your emotion. But let's see what these other three cards are. I just feel like these are close relationship, helps you find your inner strength, but there is this relationship energy where I feel like you connect with Lilith stronger than other entities, like they're a special, force in your life, um, and that's like it is. Sometimes we have a group of friends, and there's some friends that we get really, really close with, that we are besties, everyone else, "Well, yeah, we this group of friends, but they're my bestie." Like, if I had to choose one person to be in, to go on a vacation that I want, I would choose them. The others, I'm like, "Sorry, everyone." And then everyone knows, "Yeah, we know that you're their bestie." We know that you guys are on a different level, and that's kinda how I feel you are with Lilith. That's funny. Yeah, 10 of Pentacles. They also help you with family and feelings of abundance and wholeness in life. Um, I feel like they are part of protector too. And so when your heart goes to your family and you have concern, she's there also accompanying you. So I feel like and is it to that extreme? We'll see, but like this is like you and your higher self. I feel like she is such an important piece of your energy in this lifetime that she's like part of your spiritual posse. She's not just someone that you access here and there. I feel like she's present with you like all the time. And when you pay attention, you know, to her, she's always right there, but she comes in very strong when you reach out for her. So she's always just right here for you. I even feel like on the left-hand side, that's funny. Yep, 6 of Cups. Many lifetimes together. It does feel like, this energy. So, going back to blowing our minds, so, um, like, uh, like you are different expressions in different places. Well, you guys have had past lifetimes together as different expressions on different planets, so you guys do have this extra close bond because in addition to being an expression of Lilith, she's also been Jenny, Jenny G over here. And in another dimension, she is this, you know, lion creature that you guys have, or lion creatures together. And, so you've had different lifetimes and different expressions together too. And that's why I feel like you have this tighter bond with that. That's crazy. I love that. But definitely and even maybe family and, feeling that and different lifetimes. So definitely a strong connection. I feel like stronger than many, because of this bond that you've had in other lifetimes, other dimensions, and that you've chosen to really be bonded in this lifetime as this Lilith expression. Yeah, and the judgment too. Yeah. An angel calling you to higher things. So definitely you have I mean, all of this higher self connections, Six of Cups, Two of Cups, all of this. You do have a really best friend kind of relationship with Lilith that, especially in other expressions, where you have she's funny. She's coming in. She's saying, in other places where you have less respect for me than you do for me here. That's funny. Because you honor her like a goddess here. And she's like, "Yeah, but it's like, you know how you see, someone's a movie star, someone's a president, or someone's in a place of power, and people are like, but then when you're just the two of you, you're dissing them and whatever, and they're like, "How dare you? Don't you know that I'm the king?" And but you're like best friends. You like in front of people show respect, but when you're in private, you're like, bam, bam, kind of stuff. So I love that. So that is what they have for you. So I wasn't paying attention to you. Okay, yeah. So let's see what your fortune cookie says here too for that. But thanks for asking that question. I love that. I just love that. It just brings such awareness and takes us out of the limitation of this humanity and realize we're so much more than just this character, right? So reminisce about happy memories. Yeah. Remember what we've had together. Remember other lifetimes that you've had with her, him, they, because they've been different, um, you know, expressions as you have of no gender, different creator, all that as well. So interesting. I love that for you. All right. So thank you again for your dual donations there. I love that for you, Christina. Many blessings. All right. All right. And then Moonlight, you are up. Let me grab your time step here. I don't think. Yeah, wow, I totally. That was an interesting typing there. Okay. So, and you have two. So let us take care. I like the hey, you. So, Moonlight, thank you for your first donation. You're feeling totally out of sync today. Yeah, the joy of yesterday has shifted with unease. You can't get a hold of it. What does Spirit have to say? So, I want to, um, when I saw your question, they brought astrology to me, and I mentioned a little bit in the beginning, but in case you didn't hear it, I want to make sure because, like yesterday, not Uranus, Saturn. Um, Uranus is gonna go into Gemini next month. I mean, sorry, July. I keep on thinking we're in June for some reason. But, Saturn is, like, in its sign for 2.5 years. It's been in Pisces for a while. It went into Aries yesterday. So, Saturn, the planet of, um, our thinking, our work, our they're the taskmaster. They really challenge our thoughts and beliefs and mindsets. We went from Pisces internal to Aries fire, energy, and it's gonna be in this 0 point, at 0 degrees Aries for and all the way through June 9th. So, there's this period of time where it's really focusing on reflecting back what you've learned through that Pisces Saturn, season, and what action you're gonna take based on what you've learned through all of that. So there is this action, and so that can bring some unsettling energy. If you check out, I did a social post yesterday and one today too that I'm going to talk about. If Facebook, Instagram are all down below, or the community tab on YouTube. If you go to that, you'll see. I think it's called posts now. But if you go to posts and you look down, Yesterday there was one with Saturn moving into Aries, and then today Mercury went into Gemini. It wasn't very calm Taurus, grounding Taurus. Mercury's our communication, our thinking. And so with Mercury and Saturn shaking up and the Gemini new moon tomorrow, with it going into Gemini, it can also rattle our cages and really get us thinking in two different directions. So you've moved from this very calm, grounded energy of Taurus into that too. So I feel like that is some of that. Check out those postings. They talk about the energies and what to like watch out for. Um, so those are helpful, but let's see what else they have. So I feel like that you are very sensitive to astrological energies and the moon energy with the new moon tomorrow in Gemini. So check those out. And if you haven't checked out the new moon reading, I posted it earlier. And then also there's a playlist in the description box of the videos. Or if you go to my main page at the top, it's new for 2025. There's new and full moon and sun playlist, and it's right in there too. All right. Let's take a look here. What else do they want you to know about the out of sync? All right. What else? Got this. Let's see. We got these three. Don't want those. I do want this one. There was one more. Yeah, and this one here. All right. What do we got here? Mm-hmm. All right. We got all this. I feel like this is like supposed to be messy. Maybe this is the feelings of today. Very structured, messy, back to structured. So we like that. Bottom of the deck, though, you do have the Six of Cups, which is past life connection energy. A lot of emotion below the surface that's bubbling here. Um, has someone from your past, have you noticed or been thinking about them or been activated? Because this is also about people from the past coming up and going, "Hello," and not even like they have to show up here or interact with them, but this come across your path and you're like, "Oh, hell no. Oh god," or the fear of someone coming back up. And it's like there's this energy of someone returning, but also below the surface, there's some past life energies that are bubbling up, which being sensitive to energy, moonlight, you definitely you definitely have, you know, this, um, expansion into our subconscious. Like last year, all of humanity got 1 more percent access to the subconscious, which we started having awareness of past life connections with people and past life memories and stuff. Just a little bit showing up in our dreams, showing up in our realities, showing up in our daydreaming. But this year, it's 1% per month. Here we are, almost 5 months in, 5% more. So if humanity feels like they're going, oh, what the hell's going on? It's because we're getting access to all this emotions that we didn't have access to from before, right? There's always someone. You're so funny. Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you for checking out those videos. There's always something. So I feel like, but that's part of the activation. There's that stuff below the surface. Let's see what else here. Yeah, we got temperance. Things are unfolding, things are healing. And look, here's all these stars here too. So there's healing, it mentions here, and balance, but it feels like, things gone out of balance here with the cups. But so there's emotional kind of change that happens here. But I feel like with those stars are really standing out to me. Um, so there is a change in because there's 5 stars. 5 is the number of change, and that's the change in astrology. So that's what it's coming here. The Ace of Pentacles, and there's this new adventure that's opening up in the outside world. And I just feel like with the change and everything else, it's like, okay, I'm starting something new. I'm so happy. I'm excited. And then we get out there and they're like, oh, what have I done? It's like when the newness wears off a little bit, we start to go, "Was this a good decision?" Our mind starts to second guess a little bit. But I feel like mainly it's all this other emotional and astrological energy. Just a little bit of this is new and unknown. And in the beginning, we are like, let's go. And then we're like, it's dark. Is this what I wanted? But let's see here with all the scattered, what else is impacting here? Yeah. New beginnings again, new love. So you got Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Cups. You got the Mother Star, the power of yes. So this willingness to step forward energy, and here we go again with all those stars back here. This energy of Aries wanting you with these new beginning energy. Yeah, all this new beginning, yes, energy feels like very Aries, which is Saturn moving into Aries too. So I feel like that's a big piece of here. But Ace of Cups and Lovers too, relationships, and the Eight of Wands, which is a lot of messages and a lot of energy coming in here. So, um, I feel like a lot is happening here all at the same time, which, um, it's like, look, everybody, I'm balancing eight. Oh, oh no, whoa, it just feels like something got it to be a little bit much, and then it's like trying to keep all the plates spinning, like on those sticks. And yeah, and then a plate dropped and you're like, "Uh-oh," and then you're like, "Oh, no, 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 no," and it's that off feeling of because you feel like you dropped something and, you're like, "I don't want any of the plates to drop," and it brings, like, I wouldn't say a panic, but it brings, like, oh, hyper awareness, and I feel like that's kinda what you went into is and I feel like you dreamed about something, that activated something too, and so you came out of the dream with this energy 'cause it's something that you're trying to release as well. That just came flying in. Psh. Oh, and by the way, let's see what this last card is here. Yep, the Empress. There you are. You have the power. Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, nurture yourself. This is what you do. Look at the balanced stars around the head versus the scattered stars, that are all around like this. I just feel like it's bringing the energy and grasping the energy. Now that you're aware of it, you can, organize it and use it for your best there. Yeah, you do change up things. That's great. And even in you have the King of Wands, which is what are you gonna do with this energy? You got the Three of Wands, all this Wands energy, which is you changing direction. So this is you know, making decisions and standing by them. But sometimes when we're making the decisions in the moment, we're like, "Yeah, right. You did have a strange dream last night. Okay." And there is that, um, "All right, I did it." And then you're like, "Uh-oh, I did it." What is this gonna do? Is this it's like our inner child feels unsafe and out of control with change. And so sometimes when we stand our ground and make a change, our inner child goes, "That was fun, but I'm scared. Where are we going? We haven't been this way before." And then it can rise up. So just give your little inner child, go boo, boo, boo. It's all safe. I got you, boo. I got you. All right, let's see what your fortune cookie is for this one. And we'll take a look at your next one here. I like these little happiness cards. All right. Be aware of the company you keep. Spend your time with joyful people. Shut up. So isn't that a great card? Going, that's right. I am choosing who I'm with and who I'm not going to be around. Boom. All right. I love that for you. All right. So that is what they have for that one, Moonlight. Thank you again for that donation. And then the Rainbow Unicorn, thank you for that. And your second donation. Is there anyone hanging on to your energy? Um, Talking badly about you behind your back? Probably. I was always surprised when I heard people are talking badly about me. I'm like, what? Me? Perfect me? And I'm like, "Oh," like, one time my boss, uh, called me into a conference room instead of her cubicle office, and I'm like, "You're either gonna get a raise or you're having a serious discussion. That's the only reason why you go to a conference room." Yeah. It's just what you're doing these days, right? Um, and, she was like, so," and I'm like, "Oh, this isn't a raise. Am I getting a raise? No. Oh god, what did I do?" And, she was like, "Well, you're doing too much and people are intimidated by you." And I'm like, "What? Me?" They're like, "Yeah, you jump in and you do all this stuff. It doesn't give them a chance to do things." And, of course, my original response was, "I think they need to work harder." And she was like, she changed her head from this to, and I'm like, "What do you want me to do?" You know, and she's like, "You need to back off, give other people the opportunity to do things, invite people to do things. If you have an idea, let me know, before you, like, act on it, and I'll either give it to someone else or have you do it with them, and da da da." And but there's this, you know, "What, people really think that about me?" And but we don't know what people have gone through and what's going on in their heads, so, you know, we have no idea the perception. We are villains in people's lives, because they need one. They wanna play a victim, they need a villain. Dun, da, 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 nya, 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 you know, the old black hat and the black suit, you know, from the melodrama days back in the day. Yeah. We'll take a look here. But, yeah, definitely, you know, there's, we play heroes in people's lives we don't realize, and, um people who try to rescue us, they think they see us as a victim and they wanna rescue us because they need to be a hero. People put all sorts of parts on us that we're like, "What? I didn't ask for this." "Yeah, you're gonna be the victim in my movie." "No, where's the cash?" Alright. So let's take a look here. So is anyone having regrets and talking badly or, low vibrationally around it? "I can't believe they did that to me, blah, blah, blah." Cry me a handful. You're gonna ride that lip to town? Boo, 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 boo. That's what my, 2nd, ex, when I was with them, they broke me of my feeling sorry for my self-manipulation tactics by doing that. "Gonna cry me a handful?" I'm like, "No, I'm gonna bury a body. That's what I'm gonna do. Keep it up." So the Queen of Cups on the bottom. So, very emotional person, someone who huge, feels things big, is at the bottom here, and so there is at least 1, maybe 2. I don't feel like this is a person, I feel like there's 2 people that feel a little butthurt. Let's see what the first one is about here. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you'll probably recognize this one. Got the judgment card, someone who is always judging other people. 5 of Wands, always creating drama, and the 5 of Pentacles, that you know of this person, you know, with this always always looking at the lack of things, always finding, oh god, you know, always gonna finding something wrong. They become a master at finding the black cloud, not the silver lining, but finding the black cloud. "Oh, you know what? If we do that, I bet it's gonna rain. Oh, I bet it's gonna do this. Oh, I bet this is gonna happen," you know? Well, no wonder they draw all this negativity into their life because of their attitude, because of their focus on, that, and they live for the drama. Because I feel like they, you know, it's like, children who they have other children, like other siblings who get all the positive attention. They couldn't compete getting the positive attention, so they chose the negative attention, and that's how they felt loved, is getting negative attention. So this person lives in negative attention, and that's how they feel loved, is by being in negative attention. So they're just like they look for anything and blow it out of proportion, have this misperception of it, misconstrue it, misrepresent it, to other people, and I feel like that's that one there. So you're like, "Yeah, I know that one." You've known him for a while. You're like, "Yeah, yeah, besides that known one, the Tasmanian devil, rah, 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 wherever they go." Yeah, yeah, right? You're like, "Okay." And then let's see this one. I do feel like there is someone hanging on to you. Let's see who this one is here. The Knight of Wands. This is a passionate person, someone who is fiery, both in reaction but also in passion. They heat up and cool off quick like a frying pan. Psh, 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 psh. Both in you know joy. They go from joy and then they feel this and they're this. They feel this and they're this. They act passionately and then they're this. But it's like someone with ADHD. They only feel something. It's emotional ADHD, but well, emotional, no, more passionate ADHD, energetic ADHD. It's their energy doesn't sit still. It's always going in all these different directions. We got the Queen of Wands. So they saw you as this. So I feel like you might know who this is. They saw you as a hot mama. Let's see. And Ten of Cups. Yeah, there was great joy and stuff here. And so you might even had some passionate in emotional encounters with this one. But that is the one who does feel um still emotional attachments, energetic attachments. Yeah, it feels more energetic, but there's emotion there too. Let's see what else they want you to know here. Yep, temperance, patience, and the Knight of Cups. Yeah. So here we do have that here. Why did I even ask? All attention is good attention, right? Yeah. But this is the wait, have patience. I like this for you because it's the temperance card is like, slow moving. And the Knight of Cups is there is romance and there is love down the road. It's worth waiting for though. It's not and of course, um, like that biblical story when the city was blown up and they said, "Whatever you do, don't turn around." They turned to a pillar of salt. Whatever you do, don't turn around. Don't even look to see how far you've come with it. Just keep walking. Don't turn. Whatever you do, don't look back. Don't look back. That's funny. All right, let's see what your fortune cookie says for this one here. Uh, Too funny. All right, this one here. Oh, look. I love this. All these little hearts on here. There's different ones on here. Oh, I didn't even see what was your last one. Oh, the last one was a little rainbow bridge or a rainbow. So this one has all little hearts. It says, "Love yourself. Don't rely on others to make you happy." I love that. Especially that Knight of Cups is the quest for self-love too. You're like, "Yeah, I'm not turning away. I'm heading this direction." I love that for you, Moonlight. All right. That's what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. All right. So let me take a look here. Let me just give you guys an update where we're at here. So Crescent Moon, we've got you next. And then let me check here. Uh, we did get the PayPal. So we have a couple there. So we've got after that, we have June for a follow up. Thank you for that. And then we do have so Maria P times 2 after that. And then after that, let me just go down here. Guerrera means war. Hey. Good to see you. Whoops. I'm just typing them up here as I'm going along so I know it. And then Sudeshni. And I'm only going to be on for let's see, it's 12:40, about 15 more minutes. So of course I'm not going to get through all of these, but I will after I spend about an hour and a half with my Praying Mantis members. I will be back on to finish everything. So don't give up, everybody. We'll get messages for everyone today. And of course, um, the donations will be first, and we'll deep dive into all of those too. Okay, and so Sudeshni, and then Sudeshna goes, hello. Are you guys playing with me? Do you guys come in together and go, all right, you post and then I post? So we can do like if you ever do it to a cat or a chicken, they're like, we're going to like this, and then make bruddaZEN freeze and go, because we're going to go different ways. And go, what? All right, so we do have quite a few here. We will get those taken quick care of here. I love you too, Moonlight. Workness, not weekend. Oh, weakness of the heart. I know, right? The challenge of the heart. All right. So, crescent moon. Let's get your timestamp here. 1:45:36. Move that over so I don't knock it off the table here. All right. So, crescent moon, you are up. Thank you so much for your donation. Whoa, what did it just do? Mouse gone wild. So sorry. Hold on a sec. All right. Behave. All right. So Crescent Moon, thank you so much for your donation. Let's give that a love and a like there. Detective Bretta. A reading with MS and you in June. Do what you do best and please be nosy. I know, right? All right. Let's take a look here. MS and you in June. Right, so what is going on between MS and you in June? Okay. That one and this one. Not those, but that one. Those are that. And those two. Kind of over here. All right. All right, let's move these over here. I feel like these are, whatever this is, three things coming down to one, and then you have this with underlying energy, and then a next step that leads to equals this. All right, well, let's see what we got. Got Ace of Cups. Well, so there's new emotion that is coming in here. So that is interesting. Um, heightened love, a new feeling of love. There is a reflection of self-love underneath all of this. So I do feel like there is a bit of um I don't really, turbulence is the word that came to me, but I don't really feel like it's like turbulence. I just feel like it's, yeah, it's not like the plane drops like 100 feet. It's like, oh, I almost spilt my drink, kind of turbulence. But I feel like there's stuff that points you both back to your self love in June is an underlying energy. So we'll see what happens between the two of you. But I feel like they're pointing us back to self love for June for both of you. So, what are these three things that are coming together to whatever this is? You've got the Wheel of Fortune. So, the wheels of fate are turning. So, there is some changes happening in the outside world. That is because we're seeing the change. They're reminding me, right? Uh, if you ever saw Hunger Games, when I think it was the one where there was all the winners of the past, and they had that huge, in the middle was the little thing, and it was surrounded by water, and they realized it was a giant clock. Spoiler alert, that's, you know, every hour they had a new kind of plague or whatever that happened if you were within it. This is what I feel like there's this change. It's like the huge not a bad thing happening, but it's like another step happens. It goes, June changes and brings in a new piece of the pie, we'll say. We've got the high priestess, so some hidden things are brought to the surface and are seen. And wow, two major arcana. So these are big changes that happen in June. A big change. Things are brought out into the open. Um, and I wonder if they'll see here. Yeah, and there is arguments. There is conflict that happens that helps that helps bring whatever this is, which we'll see here. Well, let's just see what it is, because now I we gotta know. Yeah, a new beginning. All right. So there is an significant ending and beginning that comes in June, and all this stuff is changing. Something comes to the surface that creates an argument, conflict that makes things another. Uh, it's like if you see a clock and it goes another minute on the grandfather clock, you hear it. That's what I feel. So I'm seeing and hearing. All right. Let's see what if they'll tell us more what's going on here. We got the 10 of Pentacles. So there is relationship energy going on between the two of you here. And the 10 of Wands on the bottom. So the burden, the fire, all these tens, there is endings and beginnings around relationships and things moving from burden and feeling like a lot to feeling like harvest. So there it feels like there's a significant change that pops up here in June. Uh, if you haven't, I'm sure you picked that up. So yeah, interesting stuff that's happening here. So yeah, we got the Two of Swords. So there is decision making that comes to fruition here in June too. So, uh, choice, decision, this or this. Which way am I going to go? Am I going to go with the mind or the heart? And so, I mean, big decisions to make. Let's see what is coming in here. Yeah, big decisions to make. I got the Chariot card. This um power of choice, this it's victory, it's movement, but and there is movement on choices. Choices are uh, come to a head, like and it's like I'm gonna say it's like Frogger, um, because the screen is always moving. You can't just sit still and wait for a log to go. It's like if you wait too long, you fall off and you die. And so you always have to be moving forward, and a decision comes up, and you can't stay just sitting there making a decision. There is this need, and it has to happen, and decisions are made in June. There's no, I can't, I got to put this off. There's no putting it off anymore. June is a culmination period that comes here. Yeah, the 5 of Wands. Drama. Yeah, so the fire is here, the change is here. This all comes in here. Um, yeah, this feels like it's a conflict with someone else that is bringing them forward, where it's causing them to make changes in their life and causing, like, to move forward in a direction with you. Um, so whatever, I don't for some reason, I felt like it's a situation that they're in that, um, like, really needs to have an end to it because it creates such conflict in their life, if that makes sense. Because I just feel like it's like a known thing. It's like, yeah, they definitely need to get like this, um, what they would perceive as a toxic person out of their life, whether it's ex or friend or family or someone that's just like a thorn in the sides of you both. But especially for them, because that's what I feel like this is bringing, this new adventure. It's bringing things forward in a positive way for you guys. I feel like whatever the situation that they're in, it's time to move away from this thing and forward. And it's like, um, okay, thank you. Because I'm like, it is like, whoa, I'm like, Um, cut the strings. Why are you responding to them? Why are you interacting with them? Why are they even in your life anymore or have anything to do? They were so, you know, such a, you know, My garbage can, has some stuff in it that stinks this morning. I'm like, "I gotta take this out." Like, that's what they just reminded me of, you know? They're like, "It's just a stinky garbage can, that's left. Why take it out, throw it in the trash can, let it go." So, all right. Okay, very good. Yeah, so that's all this, and that's what all this is coming here, and that's why it's like this renewed sense of self-love is the overall energy. The full card is a new start, new phase, having hit the world card, an ending of an old cycle, a beginning of a new adventure, and a change of a burden turning to a harvest. And, again, even the 10 of Pentacles is a harvest type of energy. And the Two of Swords, decisions. All right, this is happening. No more drama, but I do feel like it's like, okay, I get it, because I feel like whatever happens, they like tell you. So, and you're like, oh God, what happened? And they're like, so they pulled this crap. And and you're so good that you don't say I told you so. I love this about you. Cause you're like, oh man, oh, I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. When or on the inside, you're like, I told you you needed to cut them off a long time ago. Why won't you listen to me? That's all in the inside. But on the outside, you're like, oh, come here. I'm so sorry you had to go through that. If you just listen to me, your life would be so much easier. Meaning you to them, not you listening to me. All right, let's take a look here. What's this? What's this fortune cookie for you? Whoa, all right, here we go. Be patient. It will get done, just not right now. There you go. It will get done, just not May. June. It's June. Yeah, yeah, right. But be patient. You're like, okay, here it comes. And you can't warn them. You can't be like, hey, I was talking to bruddaZEN today, and if you want to avoid this, ugly impact on you from your ex, you might want to just cut it off now. You might just want to like escape because they're just like, okay, I have, and you're like, no, okay, all right, I understand. Sometimes we all want to learn the hard way. I've learned the hard way in my life, and uh, and I know that people told me things, and I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, I know," and like, "Whatever, you don't know what you're talking about." And then and I'm like, "Oh, you did know what you were talking about." But I wasn't gonna listen, I needed to learn because I learned it well, and I never did it again, kind of stuff. Abort, right? Whoop, whoop. Run! Don't go in there. Skipper, watch out for that tree. Too late. Goose egg on their head, but that's okay. They will, they will get through it there. Goodness gracious. All right. Well, that is what they have for you for right now. Thank you again for your donation. And let me take some screenshots, everybody. I'm going to head out of here in about 2 minutes. So I will be returning. And so I have donations left of June for the follow up, Maria P. twice, Guerrera means war, Sudeshni, and then Sudeshna twice, and then Lori Williams. I did get your Venmo that just came through, so we will do that too. Yeah, don't say what did you learn? Like, what did you glean from this experience, my love? Yeah, it doesn't help, right? I like that. So I'm gonna take a screenshots here. Like I said, I will be back in about 2 hours to finish out all the readings. And when I come back in the stream, I will put the order in which I'll complete all the readings. Um, and then once I'm done with the stream, like I'm going to do with this one, I will post a pinned comment with all the timestamps. It's what I do now, so that you can come back and look at the pinned comment and go, "Oh, there I am," and click on it, and it will take you right to your reading. So you don't have to like try to find out where did he do my reading and all this. Uh, you know, I don't say a mess, but all these readings everywhere. How do I know where to find it? So, and thank you guys for all your lovely comments on that. Enjoy that and appreciate it because, and let me know if there's anything else I can do to make your experiences, of course, more enjoyable and easier too. We strive for ease of use and try to do, what we can to make things more enjoyable because life is fun enough. Anything we can do to help another. I used to just tell people, I like to do the little things to make your life a little better. That's what I do. I try to do the little things. All right. So thank you guys again. Oh, don't forget, let me just throw these out here before I zip off here. I am having a drawing. Whoops, wrong one. Here we go. Um, Next Friday, because thanks to everyone, I have reached 2,400 plus subscribers. So I'm going to have some personal readings I'm giving away. That's the link. You just need to go check it out and see how you enter. I'll put an announcement on Friday. I'll create a video and post it announcing the winners on Friday, probably Friday afternoon. So, you know, be on the lookout for that. And also be posting it on social media. If you haven't checked out the Gemini moon video, Gemini new moon is tomorrow. And so that video talks about how to make the most of your new moon wishes for tomorrow, too. So be sure to check that as well if you haven't already if you want to make the most of your new moon wishes. All right, everybody, I'm going to head off and I will be back, like I said, in a couple hours. Until then, remember every second of every day of your life that you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the mother and the father of all things, our creator. And of course, I love you too. So until I see you again, hang in there, take care of yourselves, much love. And remember, have some fun because why we being so serious? All right. I love you guys. We'll see you soon.